Give me a second just to share my wisdom. Up on his canvas, Picasso can paint a better picture. Just while styling, profiling like on it, take it with you. It got me watching my kids like I'm the babysitter. Looking at all my children like it's a soap opera.
We are here right now in the Welcome Center, located here in Helena, West Helena, in Phillips County, Arkansas, my hometown. Now, at this location here at the Welcome Center, it will be the southern tip of Crowley Ridge. Now, I don't know if a lot of people from the city or from Arkansas know anything about the rich history of Aboriginal copper-colored America, but we're going to take a journey through history, through time, break down and decode a lot of things that they don't want to expose. The truth about Black Indians. Town sites laid south of Park. See, so it's more than one Koski town. And I think that these are the Sky tribes down the stream of the river. As you go down, you know, he bumping into more Sky tribes. Right. And he bumped into more Earth tribes, which he associated and labeled them as Pakaha. So 4 of these northern sites are medium-sized towns. 3 of these 4 sites are each at a distance of about 4 miles from Parkin, and the 4th is about 12 and a half miles from Parkin. These medium-sized villages and also a much larger number of smaller villages are all thought to have been fortified. No scattered, unprotected farmsteads have been found in the Parkin area. Clearly, this was no peaceable kingdom. Consistent with this dominant position in the Koski chiefdom, the parking site was situated near the confluence of the St. Francis and Taranza rivers, within easy reach of dugout canoes from all parts of the chiefdom. The larger parking phase villages were located near the largest expanses of good agricultural soil. Only the parking site itself was situated near mediocre agricultural soils, no doubt a sacrifice to its strategic location. The implication of this is that some of the corn consumed by the people of Parkin site was brought in from other villages as tribute. At some time after De Soto arrived, the Chief Koski again came to pay his respects, accompanied by a chorus of singing retainers. You hear that? He coming, the chief coming, accompanied by a band or a group of R&B singers. Singing to this man. Right. Like he got some angels with him. Right. Sing to him. You know, he in the Garden of Eden. Right. Like, man, you alright? It's peaceful over here. You need something? You good? Girls, be quiet, girl. You need something? What's wrong, man? What's wrong? Like, you get what I'm saying? Right. We naked. We at peace over here. We at one. We straight. Right. Need something? Need a peach, a banana? Girls, be quiet. You know what I'm saying? I would they were the bosses, man. You hear what I'm saying? He said the chief brought along, he said all of his people bowed themselves to the ground. The chief, Koski. When he come with the singing like King Joffrey Joker and stuff, he got some people there, they bowing down. The chief brought along 2 blind men. He said that because De Soto was from heaven, a son of the sun, and a great Lord, he should please restore the health of the 2 blind men. You hear me? Because they so in tune with this metaphysical reality, you know what I'm saying? The prophecy is saying that the sun will return. The light of the sun will return. So they're thinking that these light-skinned Moors, you know what I'm saying? These Spanish conquistadors, he thinking that these are the reflections of light. And they are. It's just that they Christians. and they ready to die about this light, and this light is materialism. This light is the materialistic world that they want to manifest over here because somebody done kicked them out of their world. You get what I'm saying?
I got you.
Like, he don't know that that's what he on. You know, he will realize it though. But he said, DeSoto replied that he could not, but his master in heaven had the power to give them health and anything else they might ask of him. You hear? He's DeSoto talking about Jesus. DeSoto told them that God had created the heavens and the earth and had created man in his own likeness, Christ, his son, and had suffered on the cross. And in that he was mortal, he died. But in that he is immortal, he arose on the third day and ascended into heaven, where he will welcome all those who convert to him. The chief of Koski pressed DeSoto to give him some kind of sign or symbol to which he could turn for help in warfare and to which he could pray for rain. He like, if he capable of all that, then show me what to do to ask him to get it to rain so I can feed my people. You get what I'm saying? Because I ain't been pleasing my guys, obviously, because it ain't been raining. So this man that you speak of, how do I get him to, you get what I'm saying?
Right.
You get it? That's so metaphysically in tune with the nature and the nature of spirit. He like this person you talking about, if he, you know, has the power to give light and life also, he should have the power to make it rain, right?
Right.
Because he ain't messed up about that, what you talking about.
Right.
Like, he get that. He got all that.
Right.
He like, can you get him to make it rain?
Right.
Because that's what we only ask the heavens for. We have the light within us already. This is basically how he's thinking. You get what I'm saying? Because he's trying to convince him that, you know, this form of belief will be better for him than what he currently believes in. I'm going to show that more. You know, he pressed him and whatnot. He said, you know, show me, you know what I'm saying, give me some kind of sign or symbol to which he could turn for help in warfare and to which he could pray for rain. And indeed, his fields were dry because of drought, and the children were dying from hunger. DeSoto assured him he would come the next day and give him the symbol he desired. Okay, now watch this. The next day, June 23rd, and people celebrate June 16th. This your real Independence Day right here. Watch this here. Because this when you freed yourself from yourself. And you gave yourself up to a materialistic God. The next day, June 23rd, the chief returned, complaining about the delay in giving him the symbol he had asked for. Like, man, you waiting all day. But people dying, food dying, what's going on? What's up with the symbol, man? Come on, man. You get what I'm saying? Because I told you, first people, they're symbolic. They're attaching themselves to nature. So they only know symbols. They ain't reading no books or none of that shit. They're trying to connect to this thing that's giving everything life. You know what I'm saying? So much so that they done, I think, probably bit off more than they can chew. Right. You get what I'm saying? And they were doing so much with the power that they probably were doing too much. And they were probably a little ahead of themselves. And that's why it wasn't raining, because they probably did too much by that. Right. But now he desperate because he got people to feed. He a chief, you know, this and that. So boom. He began weeping, asking why it had not been given. And the Spaniard was touched by the man's earnestness. Droughts were one of the greatest hazards Mississippian culturalists face, agriculturalists face. You know, when a drought came, I'm talking about, because this is their money, this is their livelihood, this is how they take care of the community, this is how they make trade, this is how they, you know, stop war or make peace or whatever they have to do. You know, medicine comes from growing whatever you need to grow, things of that nature. So some parts of the Southeast went through a particularly dry period from 1565 to 1575.
Damn.
Some dry spells occurred in the decades before this period, and 1541 was evidently a drought year. De Soto ordered Maestro Francisco, their Genoese carpenter and shipwright, to construct a cross from a large tree. All right? They felled this tree, peeled the bark from it, and cut out 2 sections of the trunk. The cross was built in the proportion of 5:3, and it was placed on the summit of the mound. It was magnificent, standing high above the river. You hear this?
Right.
This mound, being the highest point in the area, also served as a lookout from which the people of Koski could observe activities on the St. Francis River. The Spaniards and the Indians formed a procession. The chief of Koski walked along beside De Soto, and his people were scattered out among the Spaniards. Marching in front were the priests and the friars, who sang litanies, which were answered by responses from the soldiers. The entire procession may have included more than 1,000 people. So like a live gospel revival, like a gospel concert or church or gospel or festival.
A blues fest.
Yeah, like a gospel festival. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like a blues festival.
We connecting the dots, ladies and gentlemen.
Right. Said entering the town, they saw that the house were it said the entire procession may have included more than 1,000 people. Entering the town, they saw that the houses were very well constructed. The largest houses, including the chief's, stood on top of the mound. Above his door, it had several stuffed buffalo heads, seemingly displayed as trophies, much as noblemen in Spain mounted the heads of wild boars and bears they had killed. There were several other structures near the mound housing the chief's wives and servants. When the procession reached the cross, you know what I'm saying, like they traveling around, like they put this cross on this mound. And then they started like making a circle around the village, like plaza, shouting, you know, dancing, doing gospels and singing hymns and doing prayers and shouting and, you know, crowding responses, you know, to soldiers and Indians and whatnot. Basically, you know, celebrating. Basically, you know, doing a revival, like having church. Basically having church. That's what they were doing. Basically having church. It said that when the procession reached the cross, the Spaniards when it reached the cross, when they went from shouting and traveling and doing like this revival around the plaza, when they made it to the cross that they set on the mound above the city that overlooked the river behind the city or what happened, said that the Spaniards all fell to their knees and the priest said prayers. Then the priest approached the cross and fell to their knees, kissing the foot of the cross. Next came De Soto and the chief of Koski, who kissed the cross. Then came the Spanish soldiers, and finally the Indians of Koski. They all submitted, or they all coerced their whole village to submit to this spiritual force. And they did it through having like a church-like revival festival. You know, throughout the whole village, like that day. They built that cross, put it on the highest mound, and started having church throughout, like in the middle of the city. It had them like parading around the plaza, you know, I guess making a circle in front of the cross. And once they got in front of the cross, they all bowed down and kissed the cross. Then came the Spanish soldiers, and usually and finally the Indians of Koski, who imitated what they had seen the Spaniards do. You hear that? Then after De Soto walked the chief up and told him basically, or showed him that he had to kiss the cross, then the Spanish soldiers, and finally the Indians. The Indians imitated what they had seen the Spaniards do. On the opposite side of the river stood many hundreds of Indians, with their arms stretched out toward the heavens. From time to time, they would gesture to the heavens with their hands and faces. Then they uttered the dull, muttered cry of people beginning to weep, and their children joined in it. Thus, the Indians on both sides of the river of Koski were weeping, seemingly in adoration of the cross. Like they noticed that their fellow Indians was doing this thing in front of this symbol. So they started like, oh, they must be asking for rain. Well, let us ask for rain too, because one thing that you will know is that these people, these Indians, they're very emotional, they're very sensitive, they very down for the cause. They buy into whatever you tell them. If it's a just cause, they will work their butt off. Like they have, like you read up in here, like they're going to village and like 1,000 men are just volunteer to help them, cut down this tree to make this cross. They ain't never seen nobody do this before. They don't even know what this means. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they know what crosses mean from crosses in the field, but they didn't have to know what this means if this man said that he was holy and it was a good reason why he was doing it. So anything that has something to do with good, and you tell these Indians, they're very vulnerable and green to a good cause. Like if you tell them that it's right, then they'll probably believe it because they only want to do what's right. So that's another thing to keep in mind when they tell you about slavery and the temperament and things of that nature. Is because we're very humble people, because the Creator will provide. When you live like that, you're very humble, as opposed to being a civilian and you desire to live like your king or your queen. You get what I mean? But it said they imitated what they had seen the Spaniards do. And then on the opposite side, they saw all those other Indians doing that, so they began being emotional and giving their piece to the cross and pleading. The Spaniards were much moved by this spectacle. So imagine you trying to get this person to convert to Christianity, and y'all in a village across from another village, and you try to set up this revival, like this holy setting to like bless the land and like convert the people, and the people across the land see you doing this and they join in it, and you like, wow, you know what I'm saying? Like these people here, we can get them to do anything. You get what I'm saying? I know, I'm throwing it out there, but these are white people. These are people coming to conquer their land, and they found a way to get in good with this chief by selling him something that can help him take care of his land, which is converting him to a different belief, which Christianizing him. And their whole goal is to evangelize the Indians. You get what I mean? So to put them in their world and make their power give their world light or life. And he don't even know that, but that's what's going on. And said the Spaniards were much moved by this spectacle. When the ceremony ended, the Spaniards returned to their camp in precision, with the priest chanting the Te Deum Laudamus. I need to see what that means. Te Deum Laudamus. God, we praise you. Also called Te Deum, Latin, hymn to God, the Father and Christ the Son, traditionally sung on occasions of public rejoicing. According to legend, it was improvised antiphonally by Saint Ambrose and Saint Augustine at the latter's baptism. So after they basically
and all those begin with an A.
Right. And after they Christianized them, they basically were praising God. Like, we got them.
Right.
We got them with just. We got them with you, God. You got them. You got your kids back. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Like to them, they trying to give life to their God. Like let him return. You get what I'm saying? Like the Indians are in darkness, and this is where they get the knowledge from. So they want them to, give it back, type of thing. You know what I'm saying? Like they want them to, they call themselves helping them.
Right.
Basically. Like giving them their stuff, but just more refined. Like this will fucked you up at first, but we cleaned it up for you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's basically what white people doing. When I was telling you that it went from a mound to a pyramid. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, we can't wait to get back there. We can fix it. We can fix things.
Right.
It won't be as bad as it was at first. We can help y'all. You see, you in the darkness. This will bring you into the light. You get what I'm saying? Some bullshit. But
that, ladies and gentlemen, what you call convert.
Right. In live and living color. It so happened that later on this day at midnight, a rain began to fall.
Can you repeat that again?
It just so happened after they did all that, after they raised all that commotion, had all those Indians being just overwhelmed and mesmerized and joining in the celebration. It just so happened that later on this day at midnight, a rain began to fall, and it rained very hard, drenching the parched fields. This pleased the Indians greatly, and they came to DeSoto, assuring him that they were indeed his vassals. So what that mean? That mean that these, hold on, I'm finna show y'all something. That mean when he said, that mean by the late 1600s when the French arrived, the Indian groups that previously dwelt in the Delta, when he said they've been wiped out or scattered, they were brainwashed. They were wiped out of their culture.
Dun dun dun.
When it drenched them parched fields, they were wiped. When it drenched them parched fields, and he assured Hernando that they'll be his vessels. The vessels of what? Christianity. Because once that cross got hoisted up on that mound, poof, whatever this was, it's not that no more. But you see, you gotta pay attention to the clues. See, now here in Helena, they got right here at the Welcome Center in Helena, they got this mural, and it said at this site on the southern tip of Crowley Ridge, Indians of the Hopewell culture lived about 500 BC. Evidences of their settlement still remain in mounds nearby. In 1541, when Hernando de Soto crossed the river near here, he found the Koski and Pakaha Indians and held the first Christian service west of the Mississippi River.
Dun dun dun.
When he held that Christian service, they turned to his vessels. So they're no longer Indians. They're Christians. And since they're Christians, from that point on, they were going to either be colored, Negro, or free slaves. Free slave because they his vessel. A slave to the Christian religion. That's what Negro slave means. It means you are unidentified Indian, but you are a Christian now. That's what slave means. It means a slave to the religion. Free slave, that means you're a Christian. You're an Indian that converted. And what makes it so bad is that they put it in your face. Because this article right here say plain as day that when he crossed the river near Fry's Point, you see, notice on this mural they don't even mention Fry's Point, but in the article they put Fry's Point because the Fry's the one who held the revival. Ain't they the ones who went back home talking about some, praise God, we got him? It's up, you know.
That's deep. Dun dun
15,
dun.
1541, it was some niggas here. Now we on layman's terms now. Forget all the evidence. In 1541, there was some niggas here. Some black nigger Indians. These are Aboriginal Americans. Look up the word Aboriginal American. I have a book called The History of the United States. And the first chapter talks about Aboriginal America. It doesn't say Native American or Native Indigenous America. It says Aboriginal America. And that's because they're talking about the copper-colored Indians that the Spanish saw when they first got here. Once they got Christianized, the land belonged to the church now. So it's like they disappeared. But the two tribes that were known to be in the county, Koski, south of Helena, but Kaha, north of the present city, the Koski braves described by Spaniards as tall, strong Greek gods in bronze. And this dude doesn't look like he's in bronze. As a matter of fact, it says right here, the Quapaw frequently clashed with the Delta's other major Indian groups, the powerful Osage, who dwelt to the north. Now, I got a picture of the Osage Indians. And when he says that they're outnumbered by an alien race of red men, is this what he's talking about? Because this is the Osage men right here. They look pretty much in bronze to me. They look totally different from him. And they frequently clash with these men. This the Osage, this the Quapaw. They frequently clash with Delta's other major Indian groups. Maybe because they moved into somebody else's territory and started impersonating them, and they knew that they was not them. Maybe that's the reason. And maybe that's the reason you were outnumbered, because you went into some uncharted territory. You were less bohemian. That's what they call it. That's what the French call them for real. The French, their homeland is called Arkansas, the land of the downstream people. They are a robust, good-looking people. The French who encounter them call them les bohemians, the handsome men. Then it said they call the land, their homeland is called Arkansas. So that's what West Helena is really called. Now, stay tuned for part 2. Because then I'll break down the sons of God, why the tribes of the Delta are the sons of God.
Give me a second just to share my wisdom. Up on this canvas, Picasso can paint a better picture. GilLy styling, profiling like on it, take it with you. It got me watching my kids like I'm the babysitter. Looking at all my children like it's a soap opera.